In this episode, we follow tea's full transformation. From the sunlit slopes of tea plantations to the heart of high-tech processing lines, we'll uncover the chemistry, the culture, and the silent mastery behind every sip. The journey begins at dawn, when the world is still quiet and the first light brushes across the slopes. This is the hour of the harvest. Tea is picked at its freshest and most flavorful stage, when the leaves are young and filled with essential oils. For most high-quality teas, only the top 2 leaves and a single bud are taken, tiny, delicate, and full of potential. Harvesters, often with years of experience, move quietly through the rows of tea bushes. They work quickly, but not carelessly. Their hands know how to judge a leaf by touch alone. They pick selectively, leaving behind anything overgrown or damaged. This is not random. It is precision, because every leaf plucked will directly shape the flavor of the final tea. It is labor-intensive and time-consuming. A skilled worker may harvest just 10 to 15 kilograms of fresh leaves in a day. After processing, that becomes only a fraction of finished tea, perhaps 2 or 3 kilograms. Each handful is the product of hundreds, sometimes thousands, of careful picks. For large-scale operations, mechanical harvesters are used to cover more ground. These machines can collect large volumes quickly, but they lack the finesse of human hands. They often cut indiscriminately, gathering stems and older leaves along with the tender buds. As a result, the flavor may be less refined, the aroma less complex. Still, for some types of tea and in certain markets, this trade-off is acceptable. But no matter the method, by hand or machine, harvesting is the tea's first transformation. It's the moment when a living plant becomes a product in motion. From here, the leaves begin their metamorphosis. The next step is withering. It is, quite simply, the process of allowing the freshly picked leaves to rest and lose moisture. But in reality, it is much more than just drying. Withering is the point at which the internal chemistry of the leaf begins to shift. The leaves soften, they begin to droop and lose rigidity. Enzymes within the leaf start to activate, preparing for later stages of oxidation and flavor development. Traditionally, withering is done in open-air shelters or shaded rooms where tea leaves are spread thinly on bamboo mats or mesh racks. The ambient air, assisted by gentle breezes, slowly draws water out of the leaves. This process may take up to 20 hours, depending on temperature, humidity, and the type of tea being produced. During this time, leaves may lose up to 30% of their moisture content. In modern facilities, withering is more controlled. Factories use specialized troughs equipped with fans and ventilators to ensure a consistent flow of air. It's time to roll. Rolling is where tea begins to take shape, literally and chemically. After withering, the softened leaves are moved into machines or onto wooden boards, where they are twisted, pressed, or kneaded into specific forms. This step doesn't just give tea its familiar curls, twists, or tiny pellets. It also plays a critical role in developing flavor. When a leaf is rolled, its cell walls break open. This releases natural enzymes and essential oils that were previously locked inside. These substances come into contact with oxygen, triggering a series of chemical reactions that will shape the tea's color, aroma, and taste. In other words, rolling activates oxidation, but in a controlled and intentional way. Rolling is one of the most tactile parts of tea making. Even with machines, many tea makers use their hands to inspect the leaves during and after the process. They look for even texture, proper shape, and a distinctive fragrance that begins to emerge, a hint of what the tea will become once the leaves are brewed. Drying removes most of the remaining moisture from the tea, reducing it to just 2 to 4%. Without this step, the tea would spoil within days. But more than just preservation, drying defines the tea's final character. The right application of heat stabilizes the flavor profile, deepens the aroma, and adds a final touch to the color of the leaf. There are many methods of drying, depending on tradition, region, and tea type. Too much heat, and the leaves become brittle or develop smoky, off-putting flavors. Too little, and the tea remains damp, vulnerable to mold, loss of aroma, and rapid degradation. As the leaves dry, they begin to curl more tightly, darken slightly, and develop a crisp texture. A faint rustle like footsteps on autumn leaves replaces the earlier softness. This is when tea begins to resemble what we find in our teacups, fragrant, dry, and ready for storage. But even now, the journey isn't over. The dried leaves must still be sorted, graded, and, sometimes, blended before they're packaged and sent across the world. Each of these final stages holds its own complexities, its own decisions, and its own quiet impact on what we eventually taste. Because in the world of tea, even the last steps matter. After drying, tea leaves are sorted and graded to ensure consistency and quality. Though harvested together, the leaves vary in size and shape, factors that affect brewing time, strength, and flavor. Sorting separates whole leaves from broken ones, as well as from fine particles known as fannings and dust. Whole leaves tend to brew slowly and yield a more delicate taste, while smaller particles infuse quickly and more strongly. Modern facilities use vibrating screens and mesh filters to automate this process. Grading goes beyond size. It assesses leaf appearance, aroma, and texture. In some cases, expert tasters perform cuppings to evaluate the liquor's clarity, fragrance, and flavor profile. Grading systems vary by tea type. Black tea uses terms like orange pekoe or B-up, while green and oolong teas focus more on origin and harvest season. This stage prepares the tea for its next transformation, whether blending, flavoring, or packaging. Not all teas are packaged just as they are. Many go through a final creative stage, blending and flavoring. Blending combines different batches or types of tea to achieve a consistent flavor, aroma, or color, especially important for large brands that aim to deliver the same taste year-round. Some blends mix teas from different regions, while others combine leaf grades to balance body and fragrance. Skilled tea blenders rely on both science and instinct, adjusting ratios with precision. Flavoring adds another dimension. Natural ingredients like jasmine flowers, bergamot oil, dried fruit, or herbs are introduced to create distinctive scented teas. Green tea with jasmine, black tea with rose, or chai with spices are all results of this craft. Whether subtle or bold, blending and flavoring shape the identity of many teas. Once complete, the tea is ready to be sealed, shipped, and shared with the world. Once blended and flavored, the tea is ready for packaging, a crucial step that protects its quality and extends its shelf life. Packaging must shield the tea from light, moisture, and air, all of which can degrade flavor and aroma over time. Depending on the product, tea may be packed as loose leaves, in pyramid sachets, or as fine dust in standard tea bags. For premium loose-leaf teas, vacuum-sealed foil bags or airtight tins are often used to preserve freshness. On automated production lines, machines weigh, fill, and seal thousands of units per hour with impressive precision. Labels provide information about origin, type, grade, and steeping instructions, offering consumers a clear connection to the journey behind each cup. From traditional wrapping in paper to modern, eco-friendly compostable materials, packaging has evolved to meet both commercial and environmental demands. Now the tea is ready to travel. Across towns, countries, and continents, to the moment it meets hot water. From the gentle hills where young leaves are plucked at dawn, to the precise chemistry of oxidation, rolling, drying, and blending, to the final pour of hot water over fragrant leaves. Every cup of tea carries with it an invisible journey, a story of soil, seasons, skill, and centuries of tradition. It's easy to think of tea as simple, but the truth is, tea is a masterpiece of patience, precision, and quiet beauty. And the next time you take a sip, you'll know you're not just tasting flavor, you're tasting effort, culture, and time. If you enjoyed this journey from leaf to cup, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We bring you deeper into the hidden worlds behind everyday things, from food and drinks to the science, craft, and stories that shape them. Hit that subscribe button, tap the bell icon, and join us as we continue exploring the extraordinary behind the ordinary. Your next cup of knowledge starts here.